Hello, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to be making a salmon jerky. Yes, that's right, salmon jerky, and I'm going to be marinating this in teriyaki sauce, maple syrup. Really simple, and I'm going to be drying it in my oven, so you don't need a dehydrator for this. It's a very simple recipe and very simple technique. This is something you can do in the comfort of your own kitchen. Right, let's crack on.
Okay, so the marinade is going to be teriyaki sauce and maple syrup. I'm going to pop some sesame seeds, and I've got the white sesame seeds. I'll toast some of these in a pan. I've also got the black sesame seeds here, and I'll put that on the top. And underneath, I've got my nori sheets here, which are going to put the salmon on these before I dry them. So first thing we need to do is get the marinade made up, and then we'll get onto the salmon. Right, the marinade is going to be really simple. I'm just going to put half a cup of this teriyaki sauce, and so that's half a cup in American measures, and if you're in UK or Europe or anywhere that uses metric, that's 125 mils. Okay, so that's going to go into our bowl here, like so. And I'm going to put a quarter of a cup in, and that's 60 mils. Okay, so let's do that. God, this is lovely stuff, this is.
And this is premium quality maple syrup.
This is where I lick the cup out. Right, that's literally our marinade right there. And we'll just mix these two up together so they're really well incorporated. We don't need to put anything else in here. Right, let's go and cut the salmon up. Okay, here's our salmon. First thing I'm going to do is take the skin off, and then I'm going to cut this into some nice strips. Okay, so.
Now, there's no need to waste the skin. Pop this on a baking tray, stick it in the oven for 15 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius, and it will come out beautiful and crispy. Fantastic taste.
Perfect. I need to cut this into strips, and I want to kind of make them around about 4 to 5 mil thick. So I'm going to be taking them just like that. Perfect. Right. So there's our salmon, and all we have to do now is pop it in this marinade. Now, personally, when I marinate fish or any jerky that's going to go into a marinade, I put each piece in individually. And the reason I do that is quite simple. If you were to plonk all this in just in one go, you'll get bits sticking together and the marinade won't get onto all the surfaces. So if you're making beef jerky, same rules apply. Just take your time, put each piece in the marinade, nice and slowly, get it all covered in. This is great trail food as well if you like outdoor hiking and stuff like that, and you want something nice and stable to stick in your rucksack that you can eat. Then and full of protein, low in fat, or low in the wrong fat I should say, because salmon is quite a fatty fish. But there we go. So there is our salmon in the marinade, and what I'm going to do now is just pop some cling film on this, or some saran wrap if you're in the US or Canada. Here is our cling film. And all I'm doing is just excluding all the air under here, so that all this lovely salmon is going to get some wonderful flavour on it. sticking that down to the side of the bowl. But doing it like this gives us the freedom to just pop that in the fridge. We've excluded all the air under here, so this is now going to go straight into the fridge for 24 hours, and we'll meet this again tomorrow. Right.
So once this salmon's marinated, it's going to come out the fridge and I'm going to dry it. And it's going to have a little bit of nori underneath it. So I'm going to sit the strips of salmon on nori. And if you don't know what nori is, it's that seaweed stuff that you see wrapped around a lot of sushi. I want to use it here because it goes really nicely with seafood, and I think it'll add a nice little dimension of flavour to this particular salmon jerky. Right, so let's do this. Okay, just before we get the salmon out the fridge, I'm going to toast off these sesame seeds, and I'm going to put them into a nice dry pan, stick some heat under it, and I'm going to move them around, keep them moving until they're nice and golden brown. Once they are, I can now turn off the heat, and these are ready to add to the black sesame seeds.
Right, I've got my black sesame seeds here. I've now got my toasted sesame seeds, my white sesame seeds. Well, they're not quite white now, they're a little bit brown, but we're going to get them in here and mix them together. There we go. Right, these are ready to go.
I'm using the sheets of nori so that I can dry my salmon on these.
And this is just your standard nori. This is the standard sort of nori sheet that you get when you do sushi. I'm going to take each piece like this, get rid of all that moisture if I can, as best I can. I'm then going to coat my sesame seeds, and then on the other side I'm going to lay it on a nori sheet like that. And I'm going to do that for the rest of them. Hopefully it will look like the salmon's really got a lovely colour. So put that on there like that. Lift it up and then plonk it on the nori sheet like so. Right, this can now go in the oven. We need to turn the oven on very low, get it up to temperature, and then we'll wedge the door open and put this in. So we'll stick this on fan oven and we'll put it on 50 degrees Celsius. I don't know what I've done there. There we are, 50 degrees Celsius. And that can go into the oven like so. And then we'll just pop a wooden spoon in the door, like so. That stops it getting too hot. So if we were to shut the door down, you'd get 50 degrees in this oven, 50 degrees Celsius. And that means that this salmon would cook. And I don't really want the salmon to cook, I want it to dry out. So 30 degrees is okay. And with the door open like this and the fan blowing, that chucks a lot of the heat out, and it will stay at around about 30 degrees Celsius. I'll keep checking it periodically throughout the day, and this should really take around about 5 hours, and we'll see how it goes. Right, this has now been in the oven for about 5 hours, and I think it's done. So let me just turn that off and bring that out so you can just see it. Look at that. Right, I'm going to get this on the bench, and then we will process it and let it cool down. Just going to tease these off here. Okay, so there's one sheet, and there's the other sheet here. Now, I don't think these are going to pull away. Oh yeah, it tastes lovely. Don't think they're going to pull away easily. So what I want to do is I want to put some of these on vacuum, but the remainder I'm going to put into smaller bags. So I've got a vacuum bag here which I'll pop a number of these in. But before I do that, I want to cut them into sort of individual strips. So, right, where do you start? Let's take this one off here. Okay, there we go. So if we have a close look at that, we've got those sesame seeds on the surface, and on the underside we've got a little bit of nori sheet as well, so that's going to give us a nice bit of flavour. And I guess this is how I'm going to pack them. So I'll just cut through each one of those fillets. I'll trim off this nori sheet on the edge here, because I'll have those as little snippets of flavour. Oh, it's very windy outside. I can hear the wind. Right, so I reckon this is going to be best stored in little chunks like this.
Right, well I sped this little bit up so that you could see me doing all this, cutting them into individual strips so that I could get them all kind of roughly the same size, so when packaging them onto vacuum I could get equal measures. There we go.
Okay, here we are. I'm going to get this vacuumed into vacuum bags. Now let's take the clothes off. And there we are, packed on vacuum. Now, I'm going to get these in the freezer, but by a cruel twist of fate, I couldn't quite get these two bits in, so I think it's only right that I taste this. So there we are, let's give this a go. Oh yeah. Beautifully and sweet. No, that teriyaki sauce is absolutely delicious, and the sweetness from that maple syrup is beautiful. You can taste the nori, which is an interesting flavour. Not everyone's cup of tea, but I quite like it. And the sesame seeds really do come through. Absolutely delicious. Well, listen, I'm calling success on that. Let me get these in the freezer. There's a full list of the recipe in the description. If you like the video, give it a big thumbs up. Let us know what you think in the comments if you've tried this, or you've got another flavour that you've associated with salmon that you want to share. Do let us know. And in the meantime, folks, I will see you on the next video. Take care of yourselves. Bye.